Hi, my name is Zeresenay Mahari. I'm the writer-director of Difret.
My name is Meaza Ashenafi. I am one of the protagonists of the film.
I am Tizita and I'm an actress in the film.
I was inspired to do this film after meeting Meaza in 2005, and um, it wasn't. I met her by accident. I was at a dinner party, and then I met her brother, Fakru, who told me about her, and and when I got back to Los Angeles, I researched about her and her work, and it was amazing that you know. What I found was just incredible, and at that young age and in the country, and I'd left prior to that, to go to school here. So um, it was just one of those things where you're like, oh my God, this is an amazing story, and how come that the world doesn't know about it? How come the world does not know about what women's struggle is in Ethiopia and their achievements? So it was as simple as wanted to tell Mazat and the organization's story. That was my inspiration. Well, I mean, the first challenge is actually getting the story right and writing a compelling story that people would want to see. I don't want them to get up and leave, have 10 minutes into the film. But in terms of other challenges, I mean, I didn't think I was gonna have any pushback in terms of people not wanting me to tell the story or people being sensitive to the story. Um, we had challenges to finding the fund to make the film, and um, it was more of people telling us that oh, this is not a story that people want to know from or wanted to watch, from sort of a commerce point of view, as opposed to oh, it's a great story, it would make a great film. But once we were in Ethiopia and we started filming, we had more support than we could ever anticipate. So I'm convinced that people will want to tell their stories. I had so much support. I remember one of those days when we were shooting on the street in Addis. People were stopping, men and women, stopping and saying, "Congratulations! I'm so glad that you're doing. Thank you that you're doing this film." So it was a breeze, really.
Well, when I see this movie, I feel privileged because there are many people who have done fantastic job out there, and they don't necessarily see themselves in a movie theater. So that's a privilege. On the other hand, it gives me an opportunity to reflect on what we have done, achievements as well as challenges. But also, it makes me realize that this is unfinished business, and that this struggle has to continue. Um, I think I was young, and I was committed to the idea. And there are some very challenging moments, as you see in the movie, including the suspension of our organization. For example, at that point, my family were extremely concerned because we are not sure what's going to happen. But there is no way for me to close down the office of the organization and just walk away. That was not an option. So once you are committed to an issue, you just have to forge ahead. I didn't have any option except moving forward. They are very supportive, but sometimes when at some critical junctures, like the one I was referring to, suspension of our organization, they are sort of taken aback. Where is she going? What's going to happen? That is just inevitable. But the public is very supportive, and the media was very supportive, and the international community was very supportive, and even government officials. I have to be honest. There is no unanimity even within the government. There is some part of the government who would say, "Oh, this group is too vocal. They're getting out of hand," and we have to do something about it. But other officials would say, well, this is a good job. They're women, they're lawyers, and they have to do what they have to do. Yeah.
I get it by reading the script and by getting advice from Z and by the table readings and the other things. It was not really difficult. It was.
I actually should have that. That's great. I love it.
That's awesome.
Parthians, and he doesn't argue with anyone. Like, he likes to talk to you just personally, like making you believe something. So like, yeah, he's, he's a cool guy.
Thank you.
Especially my mother, like on the movie, we have a nice relationship. So we're just like that after the scene too.
Yeah, and the table read and then the
Yeah.
role play we did right before the film. Yeah.
Yeah, we met there.
I felt like that. I didn't. I mean, I didn't want to overwhelm her, and as such, so I didn't give her the script entirely. So our day started by having a conversation. And then I'll give her the sides, and then she'll read the sides. She'll memorize it, and then she'll come up to me, and then wait a minute. So this is the scene before that thing, right? And then after this is going to happen, right? So she was gauging that, and then most of the time I was trying to basically find out from her what emotional level she's gonna coming into. What do you think she felt at this point? Some of the questions I would ask. So because I didn't want her to act, I wanted her to emulate the role, and mind you, like for a 13-year-old girl who have never met the real life subject, much of it had to come from her experience. So, and I wanted to harvest that, and I did the same thing with the other actors also, because Meron Getinet, who plays Meaza, did not meet Meaza as well, and I made that separation deliberately because it had to connect to you at a certain level, so then it could come from you, and all the baggages, or all the experience has to surface, and you can't hide that when that emotion kicks in. I feel like that, this is a story of hope, and that people would go home knowing that there are great opportunities to tackle issues such as violence against women, abduction for marriage, any form of violence that we face today, because it's a global problem, right? So as a filmmaker, you wish that you have communicated what you wanted to say, and you have left an impression in your audience that they would want to do something about it, or they would, at the least, having a conversation, an open dialogue about, the things that happen around us. I hope this would inspire that.
I'm sure many of the audience who would come to see this movie are aware of the issues of violence against women. Probably they have read the report, but it would be nothing compared to watching this movie, and they would get a real understanding about what's happening to women, to girls in other parts of the world. And so I think this will be enriching and enhancing their global experience.
So I want the audience, the main, I want them to respect their wives, their daughter, and other girls. I want them to learn that from the movie. And girls and women, I want them to be courageous, like to be strong, and to think that they can do whatever they want.
Courage.
Inspiration.
Fantastic.
Wow, such a punchline.